Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So I want to speak about Dawn of War 3. I know this may be a touchy subject with a lot of people. It's actually a touchy subject with me as well. Now, they've just released a brand new trailer out on their YouTube page. The link is in the description below if you want to go watch it for yourself. I've got it playing in the background, but the sound's all turned down so you can hear me and my little speech. Now, in the trailer, they've called it Endless War Update. It's got new elites, maps, and skins, and of course, like I said, you've seen it all in the background while I'm talking now. But I think these guys are missing the major problem with their game. I just can't understand how they're missing the community feedback of what is wrong with Dawn of War 3. So I really just want to, I don't want to make a rant. I just want to make a video expressing why no one is playing Dawn of War 3 and why it's turned into such a sad state of affair for a really, really good 40k franchise game. This was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Warhammer games that was out there on the market, and all of a sudden it's just no one's there playing it. So let's jump in and let's look at this new update and discuss what the hell is going on with Dawn of War 3. Now, fair dues, the devs have been putting out a fair few updates for the game, so they still think there's life in there. They're still trying to bring people back. But according to Steam charts and all the player charts, which I'm looking at, and the general feedback from the community as a whole is that Dawn of War 3 is on the decline, and I can't really blame the people who are saying this. For me personally, I was so hyped for this game. I was in the mood to purge, to rumble. I remember I made videos on it. I know a lot of people didn't like the way the graphics looks and stuff, but for me personally, I didn't really look at that. I'm all more or less about gameplay most of the time. So I was like, okay, as long as it has good gameplay, I can more or less give it a pass on the graphics. And there's actually some graphics in the game which are pretty awesome. The night and stuff like that, the way that moves and all the animation, that looks really, really nice. But I got the game, I played the game, and I gave up after 3-4 hours. I remember streaming the game. I streamed the first couple of missions and I thought, yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Then I got more into it and I was like, wow, this is so tedious. This is so boring. It's not even a Dawn of War game. That was my actual thoughts, and I've been discussing this with a couple of people as well. And really now my conclusion that Dawn of War 3 is not a Dawn of War game. I know that may sound stupid to some people. I know some people probably agree with me, but where I'm standing at this moment in time is that Dawn of War 3 is not a successor to the Dawn of War series. The old Dawn of War series, Dawn of War 1, was fantastic, amazing. Of course, for a lot of people, that was their first steps into the 40k franchise, the IP and stuff like that. Dawn of War 2, for me, I personally think it kicked it up a notch with all the new graphics, and again, it did change the actual gameplay style. I think the only thing I disliked about Dawn of War 2 was that it didn't have base building in, but I love like all the last stand mode and stuff like that. I think it really did improve in some aspects on the Dawn of 1 game. And then Dawn of War 3 came out, and they were basically advertising it, saying, okay, this is going to be a mix between Dawn of War 1 and Dawn of War 2, which, for me, I was like, okay, we are on, game on, base building, Dawn of War 2 mechanics. This is going to be an absolutely amazing game. And it was nothing like that. I'm sorry. It was in layman's terms, to be all out honest, it was an awful game. I didn't enjoy it one bit. Me, as a 40k fan, and I know a lot of people know me for getting overly excited for games and just loving anything 40k, and I think this was the first time that I really just thought, wow, this game is awful. And I just wasn't having any fun of it at all. It felt like they wanted to make a Dawn of War game, but instead made something else. It felt to me like it was like a League of Legends type of scenario where they wanted to make the emphasis on the heroes, and then they were like, okay, maybe we're going too much on that, let's add some units in. But it still felt just like a hero kind of quest game where your heroes were everything. And for me, I personally think that's wrong. I think it's about the mass scale of warfare, the mass scales of battle. Now, I'm not saying you can't have some pretty good battles in this game. You can, but the majority of the battles last, 10 to 20 to 30 seconds. They're over in no time because the heroes come in and they've got some killer abilities that just end up blanketing and just wiping out like an entire army. And like I said, within a couple of seconds, it's just no fun at all. You know, you spend so much time building up this army, getting it all ready. I've done this with my friends, building up an army, meeting in the middle, and it's over within 20 seconds. And you're like, what? Is that it, really? That is kind of lame. And that's just one of the factors why this game has been doing so badly. I know when the actual game launched, it only came out, I think, with one type of game mode, which again was very League of Legends-esque, where you had to destroy like a power plant or something in the enemy's base, and it came with just a limited amount of maps as well. I just can't understand it. Why they put it out in such a skeleton state? I wonder if the game was actually pushed out. I think that's my only conclusion to why they released it the way it was. Maybe some higher up executives were like, right, we need to push this game out. We want to start seeing some money. Because if someone really sat in the office and thought, okay, this is okay to send out in with 3 or 4 maps and 1 multiplayer game mode, I have no idea what that chap was thinking. He must be insane. He must be cursed by the warp or something, because surely when you come from games like Dawn of War 1 and Dawn of War 2 with the kind of community around that as well, and the content that was in them games, surely you must realize that if you put this kind of stuff out to that same community, you're going to get your knuckles racked. And that's what happened. They put it out, and the community just turned on them, and rightly so as well. I will not support any kind of company which puts out that kind of content for a game and expects you to pay for a high tier game like they were expecting. I know it's gone on sale now. I think they were doing like 50% off a couple of weeks ago and stuff like that, because they're trying to get the player base back, and I'm afraid they're not going to get the player base back until they start changing some of the core features which is in the game. Now, what can they change to make this game better? For one, right, this may sound so ridiculous and noobish that you'll think, really, they don't have this in? They don't have a full 3D camera in the game. I went in and jumped in the other day just to test some stuff out, and I was like, wait, don't these guys have like a spin tilt zoom camera like from Dawn of War 2? I completely forgot that. They never added that in. And I'm like, are they really serious? They don't have like the little features like this? That was some of the best stuff to do in Dawn of War, to get right into the battle, spin around and see the battle from all different angles. And you can't do that anymore. It's just mind-boggling that they don't have this kind of stuff in the game. I would personally rethink the actual hero part of the game, but to be completely fair, I don't see that going away at all. I think they're so embedded with that feature that this is more or less their main direction they're going. If it was me personally, like I just said, I would more or less just tone it down and emphasize on the actual other units in the game, but have these big epic scale battles that were so important in Dawn of War, the original Dawn of War. I know Dawn of War 2 numbed that down a little bit. They didn't have this scale as much as Dawn of War 1, but they still had these epic kind of battles where you sent an army in and you can put them behind cover. Again, cover. Just little things like cover. Instead, we have these like little force field things up in the air. It's just I think personally, for this game to become a success story, and I am very optimistic. I'm always going to be optimistic about 40k games. I want 40k games to be the standard of games on the marketplace, because I think as a community as a whole, it will improve our community, and of course it will bring us more games and more enjoyment and stuff like that. So I'm always rooting for a 40k game. I'm not going out my way to bash a 40k game. I always want 40k games to succeed. But when you put them out in the state that Dawn of War 3 was in, then it's just a red flag for us all. And at the end of the day, I think now it's more or less killed the Dawn of War franchise. I cannot really see a Dawn of War 4 on the horizon now, since Dawn of War 3 did so badly. And that's a shame, because, like I said, Dawn of War was a very, very big game in the 40k gaming industry, the 40k community as a whole. I know a lot of my friends got into 40k through Dawn of War, so if this does affect the sequel, then this is probably got to be some of the biggest devastating news for me. The story as a whole in Dawn of War 3, I'm not going to lie, I watched it online. I didn't end up playing the single player because of the reasons I've already stated. I just didn't think the gameplay mechanics supported my time and effort. I very, very much disliked him. I've never really been of like a League of Legends kind of guy, and that's basically what I felt the game turned into, so I just didn't put the effort in to finish it. So yeah, that's basically it. And of course, let's go back to the main point, is that they're still putting out updates and stuff. The video we've already watched and is probably on the background now. I'll probably put it throughout the entire video. And they're still bringing out these features, but they're not seeing what the main problem is wrong with the game. This is not a Dawn of War 3 game. Developers, if you're watching this, please, you really need to make some big changes to how the game is multiplayer-wise. And of course, single players out there, I don't think you can really do that much with single player anymore, but multiplayer as a whole, we really need to see some big new changes. Not new maps, not new skins. We need to see some core gameplay mechanics being changed. Just go and play Dawn of War 2. Go and play Dawn of War 1. Look at those games and just bring that over to Dawn of War 3. Really, that's all you need to do. Done and dusted. It's as simple as that. As simple as that, chaps, and I will guarantee you will have an award-winning game on your hands, and you'll have people flocking back to the game in no time. I really do guarantee that. Alright, chaps, that is me done for another video. I'm sorry if I've upset anyone. I'm sorry if I've treaded on anyone's fingers, toes, whatever you want to call it. But I just want to get my opinion out there. I just want to state the facts why I think Dawn of War 3 is in such a sad state. And it really is a sad state. I don't know if anyone out there still plays Dawn of War 3. If you do, I would love to hear what keeps you playing Dawn of War 3. You've already heard from me. I don't play the game anymore. It's just I haven't gone to the stage where I've uninstalled it yet because I'm still holding on to hope that they may improve it one day. But until that day, it's just going to sit there and just not be played by me. And that is a shame because I was a huge Dawn of War fan, and it just kills me to see this game go down the way it is. Okay, yeah, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, if you've got any feedback or anything like that, please leave it below in the comments, and I'll try and answer back as fast as I can. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I shall see you all very soon, brothers. See you now, and bye-bye.